I would not trade any of those people or components or whatever each of us bring, because I think it's the perfect suit.
I feel this is more important to me than social media presence, because here you foster something that you don't even know. My name is Ziyang. Some people call me Danny. I'm 25 and I own Driew Garments. I'm also a co-owner of Garment Service, located at 210 Spadina Avenue, in Toronto, Ontario. Before it wasn't named Driew Garments, I named it The Necessities. It was the first name ever. I opened an account in 2018, but I really got serious with the business itself in 2022. We at Garment Service, here we have the Japanese and European designers archive. Mihara, just hero leather pants. Shout out to Peter, crazy junior piece. Me in 2015 will pay a kidney for this. This is a crazy one. This is Rick Owens and Swam God. Shout out to Leo, he hooked me up with these. These are one of the 3 pair in the world. They all made from Rick Owens' previous fabrics. The first brand definitely was a lot of Rick Owens, Mercer Margiela, and then it got into the rabbit hole of more niche designers like Mihara Suhiro. I fell in love with his early 2000s work very recently. I just love the reconstruction motif that he always had on his clothing. Fun fact, his whole family is in leather works. He had very deep knowledge about leather, and he translated very well into the clothes that he made from the beginning of his career, and I love those. I'm a fiend for them. Colourist is a Japanese motorcycle gears founded in 1935. They create a variety of unique products with the craziest silhouettes that you can have in your body. Playing characters has always been a part of who I am since I was a kid because of anime and cartoon characters. I was originally born in Hanoi, Vietnam, and I moved here when I was 15. From the longest time, I remember my mom was into fashion. So she gets to go on trips to US, to Europe. I still remember to this day what she bought from her first trip ever to US. She bought some Adidas Neo blue suede pants and a pair of suede Adidas. She was the biggest inspiration ever. We have our footwear section. Is my favorite part of the store. Mihara's beautiful boots. This is Nicholas Andreas Terralis. He studied in Canada. I will forever love this t-shirt. And if you're a fan of Rocky throughout like 2015, 2014, you see this and you know. I will always have a mental picture of him wearing a soloist bomber, a Goyard belt with this t-shirt. I was blessed enough to meet Offset. Offset reached out to me on Instagram. He said he wanted to rent out Colourist pieces because he was going on tour for his Set It Off album. And we got the chance to pull up to his show. He was super nice. Shout out to the whole team. Garment Service is a full circle moment for me in my journey in fashion and in Toronto. I met Kurtis 3 years ago and we just became friends, and I could not do it without Twice Toronto and Mass Hysteria. So I have to get the right person to build the store.
First name, Kurtis. Last name, Tipoff. I'm 24 years old. Also the owner of Twice. I started a while ago. It wasn't called Twice, it was a whole other thing. Started in the thrift stores, and then it kind of grew into a whole lot more. About 4 years now, it's been Twice, and we elevated everything we were doing. Started making our own clothes, and now we're at Garment Service. Number one for sure is Evisu. That is like an obsession. That also started in the thrift store. It has the same origin story, like finding a bootleg, which I thought was real. It wasn't. But it started there and delved so deep. Now I'm collecting as much as I can and the oldest, most original designs from Yamane that I can. A really early example of Yamane design is like a Evis bondage, hand-painted pair of jeans. And if you look closely, the label just reads EVIS. That's just Levi's if you cover it. There's an L there, right? That's Yamane's ideology. Find the best part of like classic workwear and denim and recreate it. That's what the early stuff is, Evis, like without the U, before it expanded, before it was on Kanye, before Soulja wore it backwards. This is Yamane hand paint done for Knock Twice. Yeah, I was in Japan last year. I was fortunate enough to do a little tour at the original Evis factory. And this is his new character that he's painting because he's not doing Evis anymore. This one's pretty sick. It's overpaint, store display. It's also original Evis. A second to that is like OG Ape, Nigo, and probably the highest inspiration for what I'm doing now is Hiroshi, which is known now like Fragment. Some time ago, it wasn't called Fragment, it's called Electric Cottage, as well as Good Enough. Those are like the core pillars. It's like Yamane, Nigo, Hiroshi. This is like our early Ape Chorko, blanket lined. Again, this is just like a really classic shape. This references from like, you know, things before it. This one's really beautiful. Ape General. It's one of his first ever woven labels. The things that really inspire me now, the history and origin of design and garmentry. The reason that's even a product today is because of how it was designed for its function so long ago. These are all the repurposed Knock Twice t-shirts. And all of them are made in different years. For example, this one. The era that this shirt was made is the 60s. It's a Sears student blank. Garment Service merchandise basically has the same process as Knock Twice, salvage goods. Everything is vintage blank. This one's nice. This is like full text, probably like 90s. Danny, he did his first pop-up at the old Knock Twice studio. Fast forward many years of us being friends and acquaintances and doing our own thing. And Danny has this unit. It was like inoperable. Like you could not present $1,000 garments in essentially like a Fent shack. So I convinced him to like spruce it up in the beginning and like, yo, like take this down, paint, maybe rip the floor out, you know, give it a little bit of a luxury feel. That became a super fun experience because we got to build it together. And then throughout that process itself, we came together also with our friends Mass Hysteria. They are like a local brand that we carry and they do all original streetwear. Mass Hysteria 3D printed hanger. They do like so much custom developing of interesting futuristic products. And they offer like a custom print on a fully custom manufactured blank. Their blank is pretty exceptional. They went through a lot of iterations. The logo called the 4M. Shout out Neo, killed it. Throughout the process of building the store, all of us kind of came together and we were all like integral parts of building up to what it was.
The shittiest looking unit in the dirtiest corner of the mall, and we try to make something out of it.
This little group that we have is definitely on the road to do very strong work.
It's really mind-blowing, the support from the city is. If you are creative and you want to do something, do it. You'll be surprised of how the city will show love, and I think that's one of the biggest things about Toronto.